And I want to start with this notion of loving our city. It's like, of course, you guys, you are part of the crowd that does love the city. And you'd like to believe that's a commonly held belief. And maybe amongst your friends and the people that you hang out with, your family, maybe that's true. But the sad truth is that not nearly enough of us actually love our cities. So consequently, it falls on us. Those of us who do love a place, we have to be the emotional standard bearers and carry that message out there to our fellow citizens to help get them to see and feel the city the way that we do. And maybe change their hearts and minds just a little bit in this capacity.
I see a lot of cities, and you're always looking for something that makes cities stand out. And I have to say, your use of flowers and greenery here is exceptional. Every corner is just full of those amazing flower boxes and pots, and the fantastic tree canopy as well. But you walk down the alleys and you see this loving attention to green and beauty. That to me is quite exceptional. And I think you guys should be actually very, very proud of that.
Now, for most of our citizens, they have a fairly functional relationship with our cities, in the sense that they pay their taxes, they spend their money, they obey the law, and in return, they expect some basic sort of level of services in our cities. And I think that the thing that actually characterizes this relationship most is actually the pothole. Now, no city likes potholes, and nobody likes potholes. And for most citizens, this is the nature of their relationship with their city. They complain about the potholes, and the city eventually gets around to fixing the potholes. But the thing is we can fix every pothole in Fort Collins, we can fix every pothole in Colorado. And people would say, yeah, thanks, the roads don't suck quite so bad. There is no love for fixing potholes. There is no emotional return on investment for fixing potholes. This is not to say we're going to stop, but I think we can agree that maybe we should be aspiring to something more. And that is at the heart of what I'm trying to talk about here.
One of my key messages to citizens everywhere is that they need to recognize that they're in a relationship with their place. Most of us don't think about that as a relationship. We have these highly examined personal and professional relationships. We don't think about the relationship that we have with our cities. I try to change that. I try to get people to recognize that they're in this relationship. And when you realize you're in this relationship, you might start modeling your behavior a little bit differently. Because relationships are inherently two ways. It can't just be about what the city can do for me as the citizen. It also has to be about, well, what's my responsibility and what can I do for my city as a citizen? And again, recognizing that relationship. There are people who absolutely love their cities and they are in a more committed, deeper relationship. And we'd like to maybe have that as being the aspiration for more of our citizens, for them to fall in love with the city and maybe do something above and beyond sort of ordinary levels of citizenship. It's like there is no formula for creating love. It is more like creating a set of conditions where it might happen. So yes, we can be intentional about some of the things that we're trying to do to sort of spur an emotional reaction. But we also have to be willing to just experiment, to allow it to happen, to allow people to come to it in their own time. So there's no prescription for love, but there's some things that maybe we can do, make it fun, making it surprising and delightful, allowing people to interact with each other and have just a little moment of reflection. And it's maybe a little more likely that some positive emotions will come out of that.
Now, we as citizens know to ask for the city to fix potholes, because that's pretty obvious. There's a hole in the road, my car's going to fall into it, somebody needs to fix the pothole, right? But our fellow citizens don't necessarily know to ask for other things like beauty and art and great design. Things that once they've experienced them, once they've felt them, they go, how did I ever live without this? So even though most citizens are merely asking for Darren and the city to fix the potholes, I think at heart we know we actually want something more. So we, as the people who care about a place, need to get out in front of that and recognize that, I think we can intuit a few things about what our fellow citizens are actually looking for.
I hope the main thing that folks take away from this is that they can make a difference. Most citizens don't believe city making is something that they can do. They think it's all big stuff. They think it's about roads and schools and bridges and stuff like that. City making can be very small things. It can be a local community garden. It could be a little dog park. It could be this weirdo backyard festival that involves you, me, and our crazy neighbor, right? And folks need to understand that that has value, that is city making as well, and that's something that they can do. Most of us, again, believe that it's beyond our purview. We need to change that, and we need to recognize that we as citizens play a role in this as well. And the stuff that we do, it doesn't necessarily all have to be serious and all that. It can actually be a lot of fun. And that, I think, opens the door to huge possibilities for getting more citizens into the game.